Hello there. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're tuning into this video, just make sure that it is good. My name is Game Boy Rob, and today we are joining in the party. I feel like everyone these days is taking advantage of one of the new landmarks that have been released in this game as of the last patch, right? And that landmark is, you guessed it, the Grand Plaza. This thing is pretty game changing. This thing is pretty meta defining, I would say, as well. This is a 3-mana landmark, right? That says when an ally is summoned, give it +1/+1 and challenger for the round. It is a Demacian landmark and it is quite a card. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this card. I'm not the biggest fan of this like play style, but I thought I would showcase it on my channel, give you guys a rundown in case you somehow haven't run into this or you don't know what it's all about or you don't know how to play it. I thought I'd give you a showcase of a deck in which this Grand Plaza is really taken advantage of, right? I do expect Grand Plaza to be, well, I say I expect it to be nerfed. It might be a bit soon to say that, oh yeah, this is definitely going to get nerfed. The expansion's only been out a week, right? But I don't know. This card seems very strong. I'll say I would not be surprised if this card got nerfed. I think giving +1/+1 and challenger to all units for the rest of the game, even if it's just even it's just the round they come in, that is an insane buff. The health buff is kind of permanent, because they're going to be, going to combat that round. So it's kind of giving a permanent health buff to every single card every single unit that is coming into the battlefield for the rest of the game, and a temporary health buff and temporary challenger. And I think that's too strong. I think if this card didn't give +1 health and just gave the +1 attack boost, I think it'd probably be fine. But that's enough about that. That's enough about how I would change the card. Today, let's focus on how to use the card in its current state, right? We are doing a Demacia Shadow Isles build, mostly Shadow Isles, to take advantage of Grand Plaza's insane synergy with ephemerals, with sharks and other ephemerals, right? This is a Lucian Hecarim deck. This was not created by me. This is, as far as I'm aware, this is one of BBG's creations, which is why I have it labeled up here, BBG Ghosties. I'm not certain he is like the originator of the concept, but his was the one I found on Mobalytics, so I'm going to give the credit to him. This is a deck that is built around, well, ephemerals, giving ephemerals challenger and making them really, really strong. We are running three Bark Beasts, 3 copies of Haunted Relic, 3 copies of Onslaught of Shadows, and 3 copies of Shark Chariot. We really want some elusives, in addition to 3 copies of Hecarim, right? I'm sorry, did I say elusives? We really want some ephemerals. We want to get lots of ephemerals out with the Grand Plaza and give them all a +1/+1 boost and give them all challenger and just make some insane value trades with our opponent's board. That's kind of the idea behind the deck. So that being said, it is very easy to level up Lucian because of those things. Obviously getting Lucian down on turn 2 and then like getting the attack token on turn 3 and playing Haunted Relic, he's basically leveled up, right? In addition, speaking of leveling up Lucian, we also run 3 copies of Senna and 3 copies of Chronicler of Ruin. Chronicler of Ruin is in this deck kind of to level up Lucian even faster. Lucian on 2 into Senna on 3 into Chronicler on 4 is pretty rough. That's pretty rough for most opponents to try to deal with. Chronicler of Ruin also synergizes with Grizzled Ranger exceedingly well, kind of gives you a free Badger Bear. And if you have Grizzled Ranger on the board, like if you had to play him on defense and he doesn't have challenger and it's your attack turn, no problem. You play Chronicler, you get a free Badger Bear that gets challenger. If you have Grand Plaza on the board, you get another Grizzled Ranger with challenger, and you get Chronicle of Ruin with challenger, and they all have +1/+1 for the turn. And that is some insanity. This is a deck that actually benefits hugely from Soul Shepherd. Soul Shepherd is a card that doesn't see very much play in, competitive decks. Even ephemerals decks, even decks that run a lot of ephemerals tend to not want Soul Shepherd because she's a bit slow. And she doesn't always provide value, right? You don't really want to use this for her 2/3 stat line. You kind of want to use her as as a landmark, right? You want to have her sit there and provide value without actually like participating in combat. And that's a bit slow for most Ephemerals decks. However, in this deck, because we have Grand Plaza, because all of our Ephemerals often have Challenger, we can actually use her in combat. We can attack with her and know that she'll be kind of protected because all of our Ephemerals are going to challenge the stuff out of the way so she can get in those attacks. I think that's pretty much the deck list right there. I think BBG's actual original list didn't run the Harrowing. He was running 2 copies of the Rekindler instead to kind of resummon Hecarim. I prefer the Harrowing myself. I would like to have the Harrowing get in there and have every single unit have Challenger, you know, if I have a Grand Plaza on the board. I think that's really cool, but there's definitely pros and cons. There are pros and cons to both Rekindler and Harrowing, and it's more of a preference thing to which you run, and I personally prefer the Harrowing. This is a Shadow Isles deck, so we're running 3 copies of Glimpse Beyond. We're only running 2 copies of Single Combat, just because we kind of just don't have room for anything else. We just don't have room for the third one. We'd have to like cut a Haunted Relic or Onslaught of Shadows, and that would make our deck less consistent. So only 2 single combats, and yeah, that is the deck right there. I hope you guys enjoy the games that are to come. And without further ado, let's get started. All right. So our first opponent, I've been seeing this a lot on the ladder. Our first opponent is Draven Ezreal, Tribeam, Burn, as it's kind of starting to be called. People are starting to recognize this for what it is, which is sort of a slow burn deck. Ezreal Draven right now has moved. People thought of it as like a control deck, but what it really is a burn deck, right? You really need to prevent every bit of damage that this deck can throw at you, the same way you'd play around like discard aggro or Misfortune with Noxus, Noxus Pirates. You really want to try to prevent their units from hitting you, because at the end of the game they are going to drop a Captain Farron and smash your face in. So it's an interesting deck. It's an interesting deck for sure. Now, right now, I think since we have the Grand Plaza in hand, we have to decide whether we want to play the Shark Chariot or the Lucian. And I think I'd prefer the Shark Chariot. I think I prefer Shark Chariot. Yeah, for sure. We're going to go Grand Plaza next turn. This is a deck that has access to Scorched Earth and wants to play it, right? Because it feels their Tribeams. So this Grand Plaza might not get a ton of value. It might just trade with a Scorched Earth, which wouldn't be the greatest thing in the world, but it wouldn't be the end of the line for us either. That's one of the great things about this deck, is even if Grand Plaza gets answered, decks that use it don't tend to require it, right? It's not the end of the world if this goes down like very quickly. So, ooh, that's tempting. Oh, that's super tempting. Ooh. They do stack, right? If I play a second Grand Plaza and then I go for this Onslaught, I will get 2 4/4s, but I don't think we need 4/4s. 3/3s will trade into his board right now just fine. The question is whether we want to go for Lucian or if we want to go for Grizzled Ranger, and I think I'd honestly prefer to go Lucian.
Push back the darkness.
I'd prefer to go Lucian because I can go Lucian and Bark Beast and Onslaught of Shadows and get a Shark, and all of a sudden we're just slamming an absolute metric ton of pressure on our opponent on turn 4. And that's pretty silly. That is pretty silly. That is pretty silly. And you can see he doesn't really know what to do here. He's gonna do his best. Maybe he's looking for Scorched Earth here to try to take out my Grand Plaza. That's what I expect. Well, we can also play the Bark Beast here. We can do that first. If I play the Onslaught and he responds with a Scorched Earth, then the Ephemerals that I summon don't get Challenger or anything. Whereas if I play a unit, it immediately gets that keyword, that buff. Okay, looks like he's taking down my Lucian, which is fine. And this is what I think is a little too strong on Grand Plaza. Like, Lucian as a 4-2 with Challenger is scary enough. Giving him that extra health so that he can't be removed is like icing on the cake for this deck. And it feels a little strong. I'm not gonna lie. It feels a little strong. But we'll take it. We will take it. So we're gonna completely clear our opponent's board and deal 8 damage to his face after he spent 2 cards to remove one of our units. Like, that feels pretty good. That feels pretty okay. We could even set up for a harrowing next turn if we really wanted to. I think I'd rather sit and see what my opponent wants to do. Might even play the ranger. Honestly, harrowing here doesn't sound bad at all. I'm gonna pass. If he attacks, I will block, and we'll see if he tries to remove this Bark Beast. That would be a big mistake on his part if he did. That would be very bad for his health, for his health and well-being. Now, we are drawing more copies of Grand Plaza than we'd like. Not ideal. Let's take a look at what this is getting for us. Oh yeah, no, I would love that. I would love 2 sharks. 2 extra sharks this game sounds beautiful, actually. So yeah, we'll just drop a turn 6 harrowing and fill up our board again. Our opponent goes for a rummage, discards a Captain Farron. Good to keep in mind. But I don't think Captain Farron is really on my opponent's mind right now. I don't think he's looking at, you know, trying to drop a huge unit and kill us. I think he's looking at how do I not die. He's fishing. He's going fishing. Yeah. This is just, it's a ludicrous amount of pressure, right? We're putting so much pressure on our opponent here. We will almost, but not quite, level up Lucian here. We could try to level up Lucian by leaving him in the back, you know, not attacking with him this turn. But I don't think that's really the play. There's no guarantee that we'll draw another one this game, so I think we're just gonna attack with him. But yeah, we have a board full of ephemerals with Challenger that are bigger than they ought to be. And I don't blame my opponent. I do not blame my opponent for really taking his time and thinking this through, because yep, he's probably dead. He's probably dead. Let's see what he's got. All right, he's got Static Shock into Mystic Shot. Okay, so he's taking down Lucian again, which is fine.
I failed.
Honestly, I don't see why he took out Lucian and not the Bark Beast. I guess he really doesn't want Lucian to level up. But I wasn't really gonna play towards that anyway. We get an extra shark here, and this does stack in a weird way. Now that we've summoned 2 extra sharks from harrowing, these extra sharks will be on the board every time we attack with an ephemeral for the rest of the game. So now it's like it's kind of like we played 3 copies of Shark Chariot this game, even though we've only played 1 and like resummoned it a couple times. So that's an interesting interaction.
I have the best job.
I have the best job. He has the best job. So we'll just play Soul Shepherd here.
The journey ahead is long.
This kind of deters our opponent from attacking. Our opponent has exhausted a ton of resources trying to answer our board. He could attack with Javen and like threaten the axe, but I would probably block that if he did, because I know that he doesn't actually want to use that axe on anything in his hand. He definitely does not want to use that axe on anything in his hand. Oh my goodness, we are disgusting. We are gross. We're gonna completely fill up the board here. Okay, he finally finds the Scorched Earth. Okay, so these things are not going to get Challenger, but they're still going to get +1/+1 from our Soul Shepherd, who's basically just sitting here acting as basically a second Grand Plaza. Kind of, right? But only for ephemerals.
Check me
Check me out. There's the Ezreal.
blink or you miss me.
Now, if we just open attacked here and we summoned the extra sharks, that would probably be good enough, but we don't have to settle for that. We're gonna drop another Grand Plaza. Which I guess we could have actually done this before playing the thing. What was it called? Haunted Relic. We could have dropped Grand Plaza first and then played Haunted Relic, but I didn't want to BM this poor man. I didn't want to
Let's miss some
win that
close
hard.
up.
I mean, I say as I play the Grizzled Ranger to take out his Ezreal, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Well, what are you gonna do, right? So, Grizzled Ranger is going to attack. Grizzled Ranger is going to kill Ezreal. Yeah, and then we're going to attack with the 3 spirits. They're gonna summon 3 more sharks, and all the sharks are gonna be 5/3, right? So yeah, that's pretty much GG. And there you go. That is a textbook example of Grand Plaza and its insane value. The insane value that it can provide. So let's see if we can do it again. Okay. We got ourselves a bit more of a late game deck here. A bit more of a value-centered deck from our opponent. I'm gonna send back the Chronicler and the single combat, but I like Lucian plus Haunted Relic. That being said, we're attacking on turn 2, so Haunted Relic, I'm gonna keep him anyway. I like that Shark Chariot. I like that Shark Chariot a lot. Ooh, man, now I have some choices to make. I could go Lucian into Senna. I could go Shark Chariot on turn 1, on turn 2, into like Lucian on turn 3, into like Onslaught plus Haunted Relic. I have a ton of options here. I think I like Shark Chariot here. I like Shark Chariot mostly because my opponent could drop the Shield Bearer. That one.
My faith protects
That
me.
one right there. And we could attack with the shark. It doesn't really matter whether we attack or don't attack. Same thing. Same thing. But now our shark is out, or I mean is dead. It's in the graveyard, right? And it's ready. It's ready to be resummoned. We obviously skip block there. We're gonna play the Senna this turn,
I'm what nightmares
and we'll
fear.
follow her up with Lucian next turn. And this is gonna put our opponent in a really scary spot, even though we don't have Grand Plaza this
Sunlight
turn,
guide
right?
you, my brethren.
We have no Plaza in our hand. Yeah, we'll start with
day,
Lucian.
Another monster to
We could
slay.
Not a problem.
We could also like start with Haunted Relic and then go into Lucian. I don't think it matters too terribly much. But Lucian is going to level up off of our ephemerals this turn alone. And that's why Haunted Relic is so good alongside this champion. People have been sleeping on this card for a long time, and honestly, ever since Lucian got changed so that he can level up and get the rally in the same turn, people have started messing around with Lucian and Haunted Relic, and let me tell you, it is pretty legit.
Purity and peace.
It is pretty legit. Pretty legitty. In fact, we don't even need to attack with Senna here, because we're going to level up Lucian anyway. If we attack with Senna, she will die to this Solari Shield Bearer. So it might be better not to, and just leave her as is, and let Lucian, well, then again, if we attack with her, we get the rally with Lucian, right? If they block. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine to attack with Senna. We want to put maximum pressure on our opponent. Yeah, he can't really...
Fall, heretic.
No, he can. You could block with her, but then we get a free attack with
Cannot
Lucian.
sway me.
Which, I mean, basically just kills a 1/1. So it's not that important. Okay, and there he goes. There he goes. He's single combating Lucian. Lucian does not level up. That's fair.
Looking grim.
That's fair, but this does level up Senna, which now, I guess, only trades with this 3/6. So maybe the attack with Senna was a mistake. I'm going to go ahead and call that a mistake. We probably should have left Senna in the back to play around single combat. So that's a mistake on my part.
Our strength is forever at its zenith.
Blessed daylight surrounds you.
We're gonna play this Grizzled Ranger. Hopefully that will deter him from attacking with this 5/5, because he doesn't really want Ravun to be damaged by a 3/1 unit, right? If he does attack, yeah, look at that. Look at those mind games. If he does attack, I actually would have let it happen. I would not have blocked because I need this Chronicler of Ruin value. I need this sick, supple Grizzled Ranger value.
Shining sunlight.
Now that's powerful. Now imagine if we had a Grand Plaza out right now, that would be insane.
I'm something of an aspiring trichologist.
I'm something of an aspiring trichologist. So we'll
Time to
start
get rowdy.
with the scout attack here. Well, he will just run himself into a shield bearer, won't he? I think we have to attack anyway. We're going to be attacking this game, or this round, I mean. Ooh, the hush is rough. That is sad. Not really anything we can do about it.
Beamer.
Yeah, that is unfortunate that our opponent managed to do that. We're gonna play the onslaught and get our shark back out. And we are kind of running out of gas here. We are kind of running out of gas here. I don't think we need to attack with anything else.
Not sway me.
We'll see if he blocks with Ravun. I somehow don't think he will, yeah. He doesn't wow, he doesn't even block with the priestess. This man is confident. Confident. Luckily, we do draw into our harrowing, our Hecarim here. So we are no longer looking like we're running out of gas, and we have already leveled him up. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The might of the Shadow Wilds. We are totally safe to play him here since our opponent is all the way down to 1 mana. He can't even go for a single combat to try to stop us. We'll block here. We could go for a Glimpse Beyond, but I'd actually like the damage onto the Eclipse Dragon here. Just so he can't get like a free trade on Hecarim. And we'll have better targets for Glimpse, right? We can use Glimpse to target like one of the ephemerals. Now, this is a deck that is known to run Judgment, so we do need to be careful in the way we attack here. I'm going to play Lucian, but I likely will not attack with him. My opponent's at 9 mana, so if he spends 2, if he spends 2 mana or more, we'll know we're safe. But we do have to assume that Judgment is on the table. Okay. Judgment is not on the table. He goes for a Concerted Strike, which is also pretty bad. That is not ideal. We'll see if we can just find a second Hecarim. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be nice if we just find a Hecarim number 2 off this Glimpse. Wouldn't that be neat? No such luck. That's pretty unfortunate. We are out any sort of way of generating ephemerals, which is very sad.
You're late.
You're early.
I'm gonna get out Senna before he goes for any more tricks. Any more removal. And we could even play the Soul Shepherd here, but I think I'd like to take it easy. We'll pass turn here. Yeah, unfortunately our opponent has us pretty well stonewalled. We are
Shining gifts from the sky.
I am the light beyond life.
pretty well cornered here. That being said, he has to be very careful that he doesn't
March!
level up Lucian, right? And he's not being careful. He's just YOLOing in.
Stand down.
Stand down. I imagine that means he's got some sort of removal for Lucian, probably either a Hush or either a Hush or like another single combat to deal with him. Oh, Pale Cascade. Okay. Okay, so he's going back to full health here. Oh, he actually doesn't. He actually is just letting us rally with Lucian. Interesting. That is very interesting. I guess we could just click OK here. So Senna levels up, or I mean Senna levels up. Lucian levels up because Senna dies. And then he also rallies because other units die as well. We can't really take, you know, huge advantage of this.
Burn away the shadows.
We can attack. We can attack with Lucian. Which is great and all, but I mean, at best we kill a 1-1, right?
Have faith.
Yep. Looks like our opponent probably has us here. We'll see what we draw. Like, there's always a chance we can, like, draw a Harrowing. Maybe we can draw... Ouch. We can take out the big boy dragon here. Yeah. I mean, this is alright. This would be a lot better if we still had Lucian out. But it's okay. It's not a Harrowing. Yep, and that's pretty much GG. We'll stick in it for a little while longer just to make sure our opponent, has like his big answers, like he has his Aurelian Soul or he has some big out of the way. Wow. Interesting. That's very interesting. It's been a long time since I've seen an out of the way deck on the ladder. Yeah, okay, we top deck a Bark Beast. We'll GG out of this. We'll GG out of this game.
Like it.
That's enough. You got us, dude. You got us.
First light illuminates the land.
Well done. Yeah, and I'd say, wow, I can't believe I lost to an out of the way deck, but to be fair, we didn't lose to... He didn't play out of the way until after he beat us, so out of the way didn't exactly play a part that game. That was whatever. But yeah, so that's a way that this deck can kind of falter, is if your opponent can deal with your threats, obviously, right? That's kind of a redundant thing to say. If they can take out our Lucian without letting him level up, if they can take out our Grand Plaza early on into the game, we can run out of gas in the late game. And that's what you want to keep in mind when playing both as and against this deck, right? You want to try to take out their big high synergy cards, their Soul Shepherds, their Grand Plazas, their Lucians, right? That's how you're going to win the game. One Bark Beast is fine. I don't want to keep Haunted Relic without something that goes alongside it, like a Soul Shepherd or Grand Plaza or Lucian. So we'll send it back. Ooh, that's much better. I feel much more comfortable with this hand. Now this deck, Teemo Zoe, huh? This could be a problem for us. Maybe. We found Grand Plaza, right? We found Grand Plaza, so I think we'll probably be fine this game. Obviously, I assume my opponent's not gonna want to make that trade. If he shoots this with Mystic Shot, I'll just kill Teemo. This deck is gonna get some early damage on us, but Grand Plaza doesn't generally care about the early damage. Like this is what generally happens, right? Like, I have to suffer a tempo loss because I'm not playing a unit on turn 3. I am spending 3 mana to not play a unit, but every turn after, from now on, is going to be incredibly favored for me.
Slow down, will you?
Case in point, this Grizzled Ranger is going to trade with Teemo and the Mountain Goat and then drop a Badger Bear, right? Pretty strong.
Time to get rowdy.
Well, I say that we could. Nah, I'm pretty sure we take Teemo. I was gonna say maybe we could attack the goat first so that this levels up and it can like attack on the next turn, but we can do that anyway, right?
Here we go.
By dragging this over here with Challenger, the Bark Beast is going to attack after and still get its boost in there. So it doesn't even matter. And my opponent kind of can never spend mana. They can't spend mana until after like my challengers are no longer challengers, right? Until after the buff goes away. I'm gonna still take advantage of this buff though and kill this Neandroid before it starts getting gems and stuff cast on it. Meow. And there's a Zoe. And I mean, Zoe's great and all. She's gonna hit us. She's gonna generate, you know, her little, what's it called? Super cool star chart. We don't really care. The Teemo is a bit more threatening, actually. The Teemo is a bit more threatening.
Making the dead deader.
Ooh. That's pretty spooky. That's pretty spooky. We actually could be in some trouble here. Our opponent is trying to race us. And he might be able to kill us with puff caps. That is actually a thing that is possible here. Since we're already down to 7 health. The thing is, these units are not going to survive more than 1 turn. Next turn, they're both dead. Because I'm going to have challengers. I just sort of have infinite challengers. We're actually going to play this first. We could play Hecarim here, obviously, but I'm going to start with the Onslaught of Shadows. And then play Hecarim as like a replacement for one of these units. Because if we only play Hecarim, then we can actually only kill one of his units, right? And I want to kill more than one of his units.
Are you going on an adventure? I'm going too.
I'm going too. We could even try to replace the Grand Plaza here. I'm not sure that's correct. It actually might be. Replacing Grand Plaza might actually be the play here. We need to threaten our opponent as much as possible. So I think that's actually the answer. We're gonna get rid of it. As much value as it provides and as good as a card it is, we are actually going to... Well... That being said, now Hecarim doesn't have Challenger, so... Nah, that could have been a mistake.
My gun does the talking.
So we're gonna grab this. Yeah, I actually shouldn't have done that. I needed Hecarim to have Challenger there. That was a mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. That's embarrassing. Yeah. I needed Hecarim to kill Teemo. That was a big mistake. I don't know what I was thinking there. That was really dumb. That was really dumb. Yeah, if I had replaced either of these units, we'd be in mostly the same position, and I would be able to kill Teemo with Hecarim. Now, Hecarim would die as well, but would be able to kill Teemo, and right now Teemo's killing us. So that I really derped there. I made a big mistake. That was really dumb. The only way we survive here is if we top deck a single combat, and now we don't even survive that way, so that's GG. Yeah, that was dumb. I don't know what I was doing. So what I should have done there was play Hecarim over the Bark Beast or the Badger Bear, and then we could have dragged Teemo, and then we probably would have won the game off of that, perhaps, depending on what it was in his hand, right? But that's on me. That's not the deck's fault. That's my fault. I don't know why I replaced the Grand Plaza there. That was dumb. But yeah, we'll try again. We'll keep going. Okay, all right. We got an Overwhelm deck. We got some Overwhelm, most likely a Battle Fury deck. We could honestly do a full mulligan here. I don't hate that. These are good cards, but I would like them... I would like smaller cards. Much better. That's much better. We're gonna start... The question is whether we start with the Shark or we start with the Soul Shepherd. I'm pretty sure we start with the Shark here. We're gonna start with the Shark, and then we're gonna play Grand Plaza next turn. Because we want to race our opponent. The way ephemerals tend to work is your opponent ignores them until their health total doesn't allow that anymore. So in order for us to like survive his onslaught, we need to trade with his units. In order for us to do that, we need to threaten his health. So that's what we're doing here. That being said, now that all of our units have Challenger, we can just kill his units. We can just kill his units the other way. We could play Grizzled Ranger here, but I'd much rather play Soul Shepherd.
Does death follow me?
We can go Soul Shepherd into Onslaught of Shadows if we want. Or we could just go Soul Shepherd into Shark Chariot and save the Onslaught for later. Either way works. Our opponent takes out our Soul Shepherd with a Culling Strike. That's fine. That is fine. That's fine. The question is whether we can afford to only kill one of his units this turn, or if we have to kill both of them. I think we might have to kill both. Which is unfortunate because we're missing out on some Shark value here. Actually, I'm actually gonna play the Shark here. Because I would like the extra Shark value next time I play Onslaught, and this also allows us to play Onslaught on defense. You know, defensively to like block. Because something all our units have in common is they don't have a lot of health. Okay, our opponent has Troll Chant. So going for this Onslaught, that Troll Chant would have actually saved both his units, I think. If my math is right. Yeah, that would have actually saved both his units. So I think we made the right call there.
The Winter's Claw.
And our opponent's open attacking, which is actually a good thing for us. It is a good thing for us. Unless he has like Shun Po, in which case it's a bad thing for us. But we're gonna drop
Sentinels of Light. Don't
we're gonna drop
fear the
Senna
dark.
here. We could also drop Lucian and then go like next turn Grizzled Ranger plus Onslaught. That is certainly a thing we could do. But I think next turn I'd actually rather save my mana and then play Lucian and Grizzled and Onslaught all in one. All in one. I like that. I like the all in one. We'll start with Grizzled.
Alright, let's mess
Some folks up.
Feel no fear, show no mercy.
Words to die by.
Words to die by.
In a world full of monsters, I'm glad I have you.
That'll never change.
I suppose.
And I'm actually going to just sacrifice him. Yeah, he has 0 attack here. We're gonna off him so that we get the Badger Bear. Feels bad. You know, we miss out on value there, obviously. Trample them. The question is, who do we pull away? Everything has Challenger except Senna, which is kind of on me. We may have wanted to play this in such a way that Senna had Challenger. But I think it's okay what we're doing here. So what we can do, if we leave Sejuani alone, then he is forced to either block Lucian with Sejuani or block Senna with Sejuani, and either way is great for me. So I think this is the play. We are one off of getting the rally off of Lucian. He's definitely leveling up. But if Sejuani blocks Senna,
Prove your worth.
then we will get a rally. But if she blocks Lucian, then they trade. And I think I'm okay with them trading. So we wipe our opponent's board here, and we keep a hold of our Senna. We keep a hold of our Badger Bear. Oh no, actually Lucian doesn't level up here.
Monster.
Oh, I actually messed that up. I was thinking that Badger Bear would die there. Ah, I messed up again. Man, I'm making a bunch of mistakes today. Playing like a monkey. Playing like an actual monkey. So perhaps the play there was actually to attack with Lucian in the front. Oh, actually that was the play. If we had attacked with Lucian in the front and put Senna where I put Lucian, then our opponent would have been in a much worse scenario. Because Lucian definitely wouldn't have dealt, double attack, but he didn't deal double attack anyway. So yeah, that's actually on me again. I actually messed up. Wow, this deck is a lot harder than I gave it credit for. This deck is actually pretty difficult to correctly pilot.
Yeah.
This deck is actually pretty difficult to correctly pilot. Now, if my opponent has a decisive maneuvers here, we're pretty dead.
We go where the War Mother bids.
We are definitely dead if he has it. Oh, no, never mind. He definitely doesn't have it. Okay, we're good. We're good. Do we even play this right now? I think we actually wait. We hold on to this for next turn. We could... There is something to be said for glimpsing our Grizzled Ranger to prevent damage. I gotta count this up. How much damage is coming in? 13 Overwhelm. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 13 minus 7 is 6. So we can only deal 6 damage here. So we'll pass. Yeah, there was something to be said for glimpsing the Grizzled Ranger to help prevent more damage, but I don't think we need to. We could trade here.
Stand down.
The fact that she has double attack is kind of irrelevant. Actually. Alright, the question is whether this deck runs Decimate. It might. It might run Decimate, but I'm gonna run the risk of saying it. I'm gonna say I hope he doesn't run Decimate. Ooh, hello, Lucian.
Frown too much, and your face will stay like that.
Unlikely with you around.
If he has Decimate, I guess he has us here. But I'm gonna hope he doesn't. And we're gonna try to,
Knocked and ready.
yes. Perfect. We're gonna try to level up Lucian here.
Here we go.
And get like a big ol' rally. We'll see what he does for my Grizzled. But the plan here, if he, well, okay. So we'll see if he blocks Grizzled Ranger. I suspect he'll try not to, but he might not. Yeah, he might feel like he doesn't have that that option. Yeah, so this Grizzled Ranger is gonna die and we're gonna get Badger Bear. Okay, or not. Oh, he's got an Alpha Wildclaw. Okay.
Hello, love.
In the field.
So what's really cool here is we can force a rally with Lucian.
Go ahead. Scare me.
Burn away the shadows.
We're gonna pull something over here with Lucian. Something we could pull. We could even pull. I think we're gonna pull Sejuani. But we could even pull this Ancient Yeti with Lucian, but I don't think we need to. Because we can glimpse this Senna to force Lucian to rally here, and I think that's actually the play. So we force him, yeah, so we're gonna do this. We force our opponent to block a bunch here. But if he blocks Senna and she dies, and then he blocks either of these two, I get a rally from Lucian. Because Lucian will level up when Senna dies, and then he'll rally the next time anything else dies. So my opponent can't kill Senna. But I'm going to kill my other Senna with Glimpse. And that should win me the game. In theory. Even if Lucian goes down, like if my opponent has like a Troll Chant or a Brittle Steel or something to stop Lucian from killing this Yeti, we'll still get a rally and some card draw here, and that should be enough to get the game.
We're gonna need more coffins.
We're gonna need more coffins. Well, I say that and then I draw a Glimpse, so like... Yeah, but the Yeti dies, Lucian doesn't die. We're in business, dude. We are in business. That should be game. He needs a flash freeze here, but if he had one, he would have used it earlier, right? There was no reason not to. That's fine. We got him. Very nice, very nice. So, as far as Grand Plaza decks go, this one is probably a bit higher skill. You actually have a lot of room to make high skill plays and a lot of room to make interesting decisions, and which I find really interesting and really satisfying to play. So I actually really like this Grand Plaza deck, and this is definitely the one that I would play a lot if I were interested in playing a lot of Grand Plaza. And I'll probably even play this on the ladder a little bit on stream, because this is actually pretty fun. This is actually like pretty satisfying to get off. But yeah, so that's Grand Plaza. That's Lucian Hecarim Ephemeral's nonsense. I hope you guys reached a better understanding on how to play this deck on the ladder. I hope you reached an understanding on how to play against it on the ladder, and I hope you guys were inspired to go out and destroy the ladder and get out there and climb. In case you don't know, in case you're new here, my name is Game Boy Rob. I stream on Twitch every weekday, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. That is Pacific Standard Time. Come hang out. We have a really nice time. Also, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And yeah, thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next video.